And welcome back to KTN News Desk. I'm Michael Karanja. Now, financial services is a key driver to economic growth, and in studio to discuss how financial services are shaping up Kenya, I'm joined by Peter Mwangi, the CEO of Old Mutual Kenya. Peter, welcome.
Thanks, Michael.
Now, in the whole matrix of how financial services drive the economy, how would you say Kenya is faring on that front?
I think Kenya is leading the world in many respects. Our financial services sector has been growing year on year at a pace that can't be matched by growth being witnessed in other parts of the world. Yeah. And certainly within the East African region, Kenya is a clear leader.
Yeah, and you know, the government always says that they want to make Kenya a financial services hub. Has it done enough, or have even the players in the market done enough to more or less position Kenya as favorably as a financial services hub?
I think the government's strategy is the right one. Yeah. So we have made the commitment to make Nairobi an international financial services hub, and in particular the gateway to this part of Africa. And I think it's a long-term plan, and a lot of the elements are beginning to come together, whether you look at banking or insurance, or indeed the combination between financial services and the telecommunication companies.
Yeah. When we're just looking at that, obviously banking and insurance do go a long way to shape. But when we look at it in the whole matrix, what else perhaps is needed? Do we need more to happen from the pension side, from more savings, or what else needs to come into the matrix to make it more wholesome?
Well, I think banking has done very well historically, but insurance penetration remains low. Yeah. So in particular, the long-term insurance, which is to say life insurance, that needs to grow. And I'd say coupled to that, we need also our capital markets to grow, so that pension funds and life insurance companies which mobilize long-term savings have avenues to invest those funds for the long term.
Yeah. When you just look at that, obviously, there's a lot of vibrancy, especially on the insurance side. We've seen your parent company coming in and taking up a majority stake at a company like UAP. When you just look at what's happening in the insurance scene, what's that one factor that is making it that attractive?
Well, I think that the overall economy in the region is growing, and with that will come increased sophistication of the consumers, who will demand more and more fast-moving consumer goods, but will also demand more financial services. Yeah. So we certainly think that demand for banking services and for insurance products will grow in the medium to the long term, and will continue to grow.
And as Old Mutual, how then are you positioning yourself to take advantage of some of these changes in the dynamism that is happening on this front?
Well, we think that the right way to approach the market is through an integrated financial services model, which is to say you combine under one roof banking, general insurance, health insurance, life insurance, asset management, and so on. And so we are creating, over the last couple of years, with the acquisitions that we've made, Faulu last year, and the UAP transaction that you refer to that is yet to be complete, awaiting regulatory approvals. But we want to create that kind of one-stop shop for our consumers, because we think that there's a lot of value to be had in acquiring customers and then being able to cross-sell the various financial services products to them. And we also think that being able to serve consumers in a holistic sense gives you insights into their financial needs and how best you can meet them.
And just looking at that, obviously Faulu is one of those acquisitions that went through. From a microfinance lending kind of position, wouldn't it have been better looking at a more established bank, or do you have to start gradually and more or less grow the company from that end?
We think that if you look at the insurance sector in Kenya, for example, there's a big number of players, but the insurance penetration levels remain low. And a large part of that is because a lot of the players have continued to target the upper segments of the population. The real opportunity is in going lower in the pyramid, and so we think that Faulu, which has a lot of entry-level banking customers, is an excellent platform for us to roll out bank assurance products to those customers who have not yet enjoyed the products that insurance companies have to offer.
Obviously, the former CBK governor was big on financial inclusion. When you look at that front, in terms of the whole matrix of having financial services that make sense to each and every Kenyan, what then needs to be done by companies such as yourself in that whole equation of financial inclusion?
I think that financial inclusion is very important because the growth will come, but it needs to be inclusive growth. And for us to better distribute the benefits of that growth, financial inclusion is a key part of that. The two things that I think will be crucial going forward is for insurance companies, for example, to leverage on the wider access to banking services. And so bank assurance is a key part of availing insurance products to a wider segment of the population, but also leveraging digital platforms. Because if you think about what M-Pesa has done to bring people into the formal financial services sector, I think that banking has been transformed, and that now needs to move to the adjacent areas of insurance and capital markets. And so we think that we'll come up with innovative ways of reaching and serving customers using their mobile phones.
All right, thank you very much. That has been Peter Mwangi, CEO of All Mutual Kenya, just sharing his thoughts on where financial services are in Kenya and what needs to be done to make that more holistic to target all Kenyans.